Welcome back to The Great Expanse by JohnBat426, and you've clicked on the thumbnail. You know what this video is pertaining to. Pertaining. The more you know. The Penguin, Season 1, Episode 2 on Max, formerly HBO. And this one goes a little deeper into the mind of Sofia Falcone Gigante. No, Falcone. I think they say Falcone. I don't think they say Falcone. But Sofia Falcone Gigante, it talks about how her insanity kind of shapes who she is. Now, it begins with her sort of having a hallucination. And in her hallucination, she's back in her cell in Arkham State Hospital, all right? And her brother, Alberto Falcone, comes to visit her. And he holds a hand up. You know how they do that in like every movie? It's like they hold their hand up against a glass and the other person holds their hand up. It's like a synergy between them. You know what I mean? But when she looked at his finger, it was missing. Okay, and then she sees him get shot brutally in his head. Okay, and remember, she's hallucinating. She like wakes up in like her therapist's office, and his name was Dr. Julian Rush. I do not know if he's a comic book character or not. But then the therapist, Dr. Rush, sort of like was she on his lap? But he's like holding her like all like lovey-dovey. I'm like, this definitely violates the doctor-patient confidentiality thing, because you're not supposed to be touching your clients like that. But it's Gotham, bada bing, bada boom, you know. So we see that this Dr. Rush character is somebody that he understands her psychosis, and he's trying to like bring her back to reality and all that other stuff. So that's sort of a plot thread to the entire episode, like her hallucinations or whatever. So we understand that someone named Luca Falcone is the brother of Carmine Falcone. I don't know if Luca is a comic book character, but it doesn't really matter because this is a show, not a comic book. He's taken over the family. I think there is a difference to Johnny Vitti. I don't think Johnny Vitti is the son of Carla Vitti. Carla Vitti came across as like this, like, I don't know who she was supposed to be, but they said that she was cousins with Johnny, and I'm like, okay, so now in the books, Johnny Vitti is the son of Carla Vitti, but in this one, she reminded me of the young lady in No Country for Old Men, who was Llewellyn's wife. And actually, I think she's a Scottish actress. I think the woman that plays Llewellyn's wife in No Country for Old Men. Her name will appear here. I think that was her. I'm not sure, but she looked a lot like her. But as soon as I saw her, I said, that is not Carla Vitti from The Long Halloween. No. Okay? Because Carla Vitti is a gangster. The Vittis run Chicago. Okay? And she married into the Vitti family. She's a Falcone by birth, but she married into the Vittis. So she definitely looks like she has nothing to do with the real family life. Okay. And then when her back and forth with Sofia, like Sofia was like really like menacing and looking at her daughter like, yeah, you know. And I was like, definitely not their relationship, because in the comic books they're very tight, Carla and Sofia. So Carla is definitely different. There is a passing reference to No Man's Land. Someone said it's like a No Man's Land out there. Now, that's a big deal. That is a major Batman story. It's like a crossover event. Because a massive earthquake hits Gotham. I do not know what the source of the earthquake is. I don't know if it's like a supervillain up to something or whatever. But there's a massive earthquake and Gotham is like in ruins. And I don't remember what the time length was as to how long it was like this. But they were basically cut off from the U.S. government. They sort of hinted this in The Dark Knight Rises, when the president of the United States says that Gotham City is no longer a part of the United States, and he says, but we're with you. It's like, okay, no, you basically hung them out to dry. So Gotham was basically divided up into different regions by the supervillains. Like Poison Ivy had her region, Two-Face had his region, the Penguin sort of had like almost the whole city, you know, because he's a fence, so you know he's like trading in and out of different territories. But No Man's Land, now that storyline concludes with the murder of Lieutenant or Detective Sarah Essen, who married Jim Gordon. Now remember, in Batman Year One, Jim Gordon was having an affair with Sarah Essen. But when Barbara Gordon, his wife, leaves him, he marries Sarah Essen, and the Joker murders Sarah Essen. That concludes the No Man's Land storyline. Okay? So I just want to talk about that. Now, in this episode, the Penguin is still trying to finagle his way to the top of the criminal underworld. Okay, he's going to Blackgate Penitentiary. He's talking to Sal Maroni. Sal Maroni has I don't know if that's his wife. Yeah, that was his wife. Chaudre something. I don't remember the actress's name. Her name will appear here. but she played Dr. Rao in X-Men: The Last Stand. And they look like they were like Syrian or some sort of like European, like or Asian European, Eurasian. Okay. I don't know where they were from, but I think Sal Maroni was supposed to be Italian, but his family was this ethnicity. And Penguin is making a deal with the Maronis to ambush the Drops. Remember, in the first episode, the Falcone said they're shutting down the Drops plant and they're moving to Robbinsville. I've never heard of Robbinsville. Maybe it's just the name Robin. You know, for people that read the comic books, like, oh, Robin. I don't know, maybe. So Penguin is making a deal with the Maronis to weaken the Falcones. Okay? And remember, Sal Maroni said, I like how you pit us back against, and I didn't mean to say pit, not put. You pitted us back against the Falcone. So he knows that Penguin set this up with the body of Alberto Falcone without his finger or his ring on it. So he knows this, okay? And Penguin is saying, like, you can trust me, in other words, to help bring down the Falcones to strengthen the position of the Maronis, okay? So then, Alberto Falcone's funeral is the next day, okay? Now, Penguin, he goes to visit his mother. His mother is obviously like suffering from a form of dementia, I believe. The landlord of the home that she lives in said he found her across the street without a coat on. And basically, Penguin just gives the landlord all this money just to keep an eye on her. He just cut through all the crap. He said, let's keep an eye on my mother. All right. Now, I'm predicting Mama will die this season. I'm just going to go out and say it right now. Mama she's out of here. Okay? Now, let's go back to a comic book. Let's flip back to the comic. Okay. Penguin's mother does have a mental illness in Penguin Pain and Prejudice. And this is very comic book accurate, the way they portrayed the mother in the live action and the way they portrayed her in Penguin Pain and Prejudice. Okay? Because Penguin loves his mom, even though his mother always tried to protect Oswald because he was deformed. Okay? And his father was very abusive. The kids in the neighborhood were very abusive of Oswald Cobblepot when he was young, and Mom always tried to protect him. I think she gave him a snow globe or some kind of ornament or whatever, something to fixate on, to take his mind off the abuse he was receiving at the hands of his family and people in the neighborhood. So let's go back to the episode. So Penguin tells the Maronis, I think he called it the fallback car. He said he was going to, Penguin said he was going to be in the fallback car, the last car in the caravan. Am I ghosting? Okay. And he said that you can do whatever you want with the front car and it's almost like an armored car that was ferrying the Drops to the new plant. Okay. So now Johnny Vitti does not trust Oswald. So he says, no, Oswald, you ride in the armored car. And Penguin's like, want me to ride in the armored car? He's like, yeah, because I think Johnny Vitti suspected immediately that Oswald was up to something. Okay, so the Maronis, they do exactly what Oswald said. They hit the shipment while it's in transit. They kill several people. Penguin barely makes it out, but one of the Falcones, Castillo, the one that was torturing Oswald in the first one, he's like, "Come on, Oswald, let's go." All right, so now remember, Castillo is a loyalist to Sofia Falcone Gigante. So he didn't suspect that Penguin was there to set this whole thing up. So he gets Penguin out of there. One of Maroni's main people is shot and hospitalized. So Sophia figures out that someone from inside the Falcone family set this up. Because she said, how did the Maronis even know our route? How did they know that we would be in this particular truck that was ferrying the Drops? So she said someone in our family did this. So Luca Falcone. And sadly, that's where the video ended because of a lack of storage space. And I really like this second episode. So just verbally, you'll just hear me give it a B+. This was very well done. I love the way they are spinning the tale of Oswald Cobblepot trying to climb the ladder to become the #1 head honcho in organized crime. Okay? And I also want to give a short excerpt on my audio commentary while watching the show. If they show when he develops an affinity for birds. I feel like you have to do that. I think there has to be a callback to the traditional Penguin comic book character with the top hat, the monocle. Still a fence, still in a world of organized crime, but he has to have like his Batman moment. That's what I'm waiting for. His maybe a near death experience, and there's a bird that symbolizes the miracle of his survival, perhaps. So, but this is another great episode, and we'll be recording soon.